Let's get it on. What's going on, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, glitches. Thank you for tuning in so soon. You are the man. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I hope your day's starting out well. About to get into some more Jane Foster progression play. She's actually a lot of fun to play with because Thor's a lot of fun to play with. I feel like I'm building Thor all over again, but with some minor differences, but it's fun. Yeah, glitches, I like her. In fact, I'll probably end up playing her more than I expected to. As you can see, I put some work into her last night. How my stats looking? 1354 melee right now. 1410 defense. I need at least 200 to 300 more on that. My ranged is solid, 2152. And my heroics are killing it, 10,754. Thank you, bro. Yeah, I was putting in some work last night. I want to get her intensity up. And I want to get her defense up. But beyond that, I feel like right now my build is pretty solid. So, let's get it. What do we have for objectives? I think I'm going to jump right into the Scientist Supreme. I pay attention to my percentages when I'm picking gear. The percentages on the gear are really important. And if you select the right gear to build your character, you can get your percentage, any of your statistics up really high. And you remember when I finished with you guys yesterday, I was at 75. So I just stayed up till 3 this morning and played her until I got her to 150. That's all I did. So I'm exhausted right now because I really haven't gotten much sleep. You know, I went to bed at like 3. I was back up at like 9 or 10. And look at it now. We're about to jump back in on fumes for sleep. But the thing is I play better when I'm not streaming, so I'm able to really focus. And so I was actually surprised I had gotten her up to level 75 yesterday while I was streaming. It was a cinch to get her up to 150 once I was just sitting here zoned out into the game. I just ran into like vaults and some of the major missions that she needed to get done. And I also worked on her mission chain. So right now I need to do villain sectors for her mission chain. Oh, and I think I have a new codex for her. I might. Yes, I do. Let's check it out.
Thor, why are you here?
I'm here to help you. To take care of you.
If Asgardians have some magical cure for cancer, I'm all ears.
dramatic pause.
They're saying the Avengers are back. And they have someone new with them.
Now that part of my life is over.
And Asgard could use your help.
It sounds like you're trying to make me leave.
I'm dying. My sense of taste is shot. I spend most of my days sleeping, and my memory is going. I'm not going to make you watch me die. Not when there's still good you can do. The world needs you. The Avengers need you.
She lets you put work into these lines.
I put the hammer down. I don't intend to pick it back up.
AIM is building an army. And you know Tarleton and Monica aren't going to stop until the Avengers are beaten into the ground.
Please, I don't want to talk about this.
Damn it, Thor. I won't be your excuse to wallow. There are people who need you.
You need me. Jane,
Mjolnir,
how did you...
if you won't fight for those who can't, if you won't fulfill your responsibilities, then I will.
Wow. You have to give these voice actors some credit. They know they'll never be seen by us in the way that, you know, actors and such like to be seen, but yet they're putting a lot of energy and skill into delivering these lines for us. That's really nice. All right. I'm gonna run and go see Monica. Let's go see Monica. For the first time, I haven't done this mission yet with Jane. The beating the odds mission. Let's get it. I couldn't let Sadat and Lejeune outdo me, right? I had to get to 150 at least by today.
And you believe this is where Monica's working on her prototype?
Yes. The readings I've detected are a 99.8% match to the cosmic cube.
So the crazy mad scientist lady actually was trying to save the world with this super weapon.
Yeah,
You like that glitch?
That's way too unstable and powerful to leave in Monica's hands.
So we get that weapon away from her in the present. She can't use it in the future. And then we'll close in time
You know, this
and
game
find another way to stop the crate.
has been an interesting roller coaster. Because, you know, it started out with people thinking that it wouldn't succeed and everybody hating on it. And then it made a comeback with Black Panther, and then people started hating on it again, and now it's making another comeback. This is just like one long tug of war between the community and the developers. It's just back and forth and back and forth, and it's hilarious. Just sitting back watching it all. Thank you for the likes, folks. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, please tickle that like button, follow the link pinned to the top of the chat. Lots of marvelous content to follow on the channel. Danielle! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. What is going on? Trying to get into beating the odds with Jane Foster. Get some exotic gear and maybe pop myself up above 150. Please, Danielle, never apologize for being late. I celebrate your arrival. It doesn't matter when. I appreciate you being concerned about being late, but Your presence is always welcome, my man. You know, I kind of feel bad for people like Sadat and Lejeune. Wait, what? Oh, you looking at my stats? You like that, Daniel? Oh, why was I feeling bad for him? Okay. Sorry, I saw your weight and so I stopped. But the reason why I feel bad for them is I'm a people person. As you can see, I like talking to my audience. But as human beings, there's only so much you can keep up with. And when you get to the level of like Sadat and Lejeune, it's very difficult to connect with your core audience, even if you have a core audience, because your chat is moving so quick. You can't see everything. So you're going to overlook comments that come through to you during a stream, and it's not intentional. But I wonder if that matters as much to them as it does to me. Because if my chat were as busy as I see their chats get, I would feel really bad for all the comments that I miss responding to. You know, and I wonder, that's why I say I feel bad for him, because I know that when you are a new streamer, you're able to really connect with your audience in a personal way. It's really hard to do that once you become successful, just because everything's moving so fast, so quick. Oh, and Daniel, yeah, I put in work last night on my stats. I was telling Glitches earlier, I had to keep up with Lejeune and Sadat, you know?
Nearly there, Mr. Barton. Project Omega's development site is a few clicks away.
And Casual. And J Shock Class. And Slightly Stardust. All people I follow. All great content makers for Avengers. Did I buy a new game? Where did that come from, Daniel? I don't know what you mean. Did I buy a new Avengers game or just a new game in general?
Project Omega's getting shut down. Save the final blow for me, kids.
I did actually purchase a couple of indie games, but I haven't played them yet. They're kind of like Sifu, but designed a little different.
Security forces are on high alert.
Avengers, secure that super weapon at all costs.
Okay, so I'm going to try and get all these little extras.
We'll show you true power.
Okay, that looks bad.
Hey, buddy, you got another one of those fancy explanations?
Of course. You were witnessing a form of electromagnetic radiation. The energy fluctuations.
Daniel said, interesting.
Definitely in the right place.
Hold on a second. Yeah, I was really putting work in on her last night. Yeah. Oh, you mean the games that I got? There, one of them actually is a game that looks like you're a samurai, and it's designed like Sifu, where you're going through and there's people that you have to fight, and it's in black and white. So I thought that was really cool. I'll eventually stream that.
You're going to be all right.
And then there's another game that I got, and I literally purchased these like 3 weeks to a month ago, so I don't even remember the names. I just bought them and tucked them away in my archive, because I knew I was going to be playing other games like Call of Duty and this game more before I got around to them. Because I haven't even beaten Sifu yet, you know. I got about halfway through that, and I realized that I needed to improve a bit more before I tried to dive deeper into that game. But I'm getting there. Sifu takes a lot of focus.
Yeah, that beam looks way worse up close.
And I can focus, but I have to be in the right mind frame to want to focus that much. And I haven't been in that mind frame lately, so sticking with the things I know for right now. What do you need to tell me? The strongest Spider-Man? The strongest Spider-Man that I knew of when I was collecting comic books was the Spider-Man that temporarily was possessed by Captain Universe. And he could fly around like Superman, and he actually punched the Hulk into orbit. That's the strongest Spider-Man that I know of. But it was very fleeting. It was very temporary.
Always a thorn in my side.
Thank you for the likes, folks. Tickle that like button if you haven't already. Follow the link pinned to the top of the chat. Lots of marvelous content to follow on the channel. I appreciate it.
It ruined it.
Project Omega's potential is beyond anything you could imagine. If it has flaws, I will fix them. I do not like the sound of that.
Did you know about that Spider-Man? The one where he was possessed by Captain Universe and punched the Hulk into orbit? And the Hulk was gray at the time, too. It was a gray Hulk that he punched into orbit. I actually own that comic book.
Thought you stood a chance? I will not be a footnote in history!
I didn't like that Spider-Man because it wasn't really Spider-Man. He was basically Superman the whole time he was possessed by Captain Universe. You heard about him? Yeah.
Easy, can it? Monica's trying her best to
But it was so temporary. It was only like for like a few issues. It wasn't for very long. But I just don't like it when characters become so unlike their core character that they don't even resemble themselves anymore, you know what I mean? And at that time, Spider-Man didn't even need to swing from buildings. He was just literally just flying around like Superman. Yeah, Spider-Man, his outfit when he was Captain Universe was blue and white. And the blue part kind of looked like space.
Hey, block it off. Doctor's orders. I need aid.
So it was like a spacey look on his outfit. Like almost like looking up in a blue sky, but being able to see space in the sky with all the stars and everything. So it was a cool outfit.
Security lockdown has been lifted. Well fought, Avengers.
Oh, we lost a Thor. Oh, wow.
In the room ahead.
Beyonder Spider-Man. I have not heard about him, but he sounds intriguing because I do know who the Beyonder is. When did the Beyonder come back into the picture? The Beyonder was originally introduced in the first Secret Wars in Marvel Comics, and in the Secret Wars, that's where Spider-Man got his black outfit, his symbiote outfit for the first time. So the Beyonder Spider-Man, that name really intrigues me. Is this something new? And is the Beyonder back?
The path ahead is clear. Project Omega should be behind those doors. AIM has initiated a test run of the Cosmic Cube.
Avengers, follow me.
All right. All right. I look forward to that, Daniel. If it's new, I'm really intrigued because I heard recently that Kevin Feige and the MCU want to recreate the Secret Wars. And if they're talking about a Beyonder Spider-Man, I'm wondering if that comic storyline has anything to do with the MCU's interest in doing something about Secret Wars, because a Beyonder storyline in the comic books would bring current Marvel fans up to speed with who the Beyonder is, so that if a movie came out about Secret Wars, there would be less explaining to do to current Marvel fans. Does that make sense? I know that was a mouthful, but that's why I found what you said so interesting, because I just heard about them wanting to do Secret Wars in the MCU. And what better way to bring people up to speed about the Beyonder than to do a storyline with the most famous character in Marvel, Spider-Man, and call him the Beyonder Spider-Man. What an interesting way to bring people up to speed. Because the Beyonder is such an old character now in the comic book. I mean, the Beyonder's been around since 1980, 81, 82 in the comic books. And he comes and he goes. But a lot of people, if you're not a hardcore old school Marvel fan, you might not know who the Beyonder is. And he's very complex. So you don't want to wait for one movie to try and tell people about him. You know what I mean?
I'm getting major A-Day vibes, Clint.
Yeah, well, time to make things right. Got one. Hit the power conduit.
Well done. Power conduits are exposed.
Oh no, I didn't mean to do that, but I did. It's alright.
Okay, that's all.
At least I didn't die.
Barriers are down. Well done. The containment cube is susceptible to damage.
Risking the fate of the world. Leave before you damn us all.
That was you who did that. I was there. I saw it. And I'm not gonna let it happen.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
What the hell is going on?
The cosmic energy contained within the cube would give the holder almost unlimited power.
Okay, thanks, Daniel.
You know what?
I'm actually really excited about that now.
Humanity will be saved by
This
aim
barrier
and
is impenetrable.
science.
Attacking her won't do
You
it.
don't understand what's happening. And you're freaking nuts. So I'm taking you down.
I need your powers are nothing.
hard to stay away from whatever's dragging me over there.
Yield to me. Oh, I'm here.
No matter. You'll fall soon enough.
Cosmic energy is building up. Cover at once.
Hawkeye is fallen.
This is nothing. The world doesn't need Avengers. AIM will save this world. I will save it.
Junior? Is that you? Murder hobo? Where are you? Yeah, Monica's messing with it. It's unstable. Unfinished. That sounds bad. Try and stop her. Yeah, thanks. Hadn't thought of that. Hold on.
Yeah, thanks. Hadn't thought of that.
He's charging up again. You know what to do.
It's over.
Hawkeye is
We're
fallen.
down to Thor.
I shot him.
This is just a setback. AIM will take you down. Damn it, creep.
Hey, I can see you. Now, there's this weird rift, and it keeps getting bigger.
How did you? No matter.
Cosmic energy is building up.
You'll pay for that.
Fair battle won. This isn't good.
It'll be over soon enough. Damn. Damn you. I'm so desperate to stop.
That's it. Your attacks are destabilizing her energy. Keep going.
Hawkeye is fallen. No need to thank me.
Much obliged.
Accused of aim. Don't worry, I'm here.
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. I should have had her with that last blast. Oh, get out of here. That was whack. Everybody kept everybody going until the very end, and then, like, they don't give me the last blast.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
What the hell is going on?
They're gonna have the Beyonder come out of the comic books? Now that's beyond anything I've heard of him able to do
You
before.
know what? Fine.
Humanity will be saved by AIM.
I remember you were telling me about some games last month. I don't remember the name of them. I'm sorry. Hold on one second.
Taking you down.
I want to make sure I don't die on these people.
I've had enough of your meddling. I'm ending this here and now.
Her shields are down. Focus your attacks on Dr. Rappaccini.
You won't get the better of me again. You're out of your depth, Avengers.
I didn't make it behind the pole.
I'm here.
This is nothing. The world doesn't need Avengers. AIM will save this world. I will save it.
Junior, is that you?
Murder hobo? Where are you?
I'm in the time bubble. The cube. It's doing these weird psychedelic things.
Monica's messing with you. It's unstable. Finish.
That sounds bad. Try and stop her.
Yeah, thanks. Hadn't thought of that. Hold on.
Accept defeat. Baby, pounding!
Can't move.
Today is not the day you fall.
Thanks.
Take that guardian's tail!
Your powers are nothing.
He's charging up again. You know what to do.
Goodbye, Avengers.
We're down a Thor.
You can't resist forever. Give up.
Hey, I can see you.
Oh, what the heck was that?
There's this weird rift and it keeps getting bigger.
Hey, Sebs!
Here's for more.
Oh, Dying Light and Mad
Do it.
Max.
Keep it up.
Dying Light, okay. Hi, Sebs!
Reign the inevitable.
Long time, my friend. Alright, let's get them all.
No matter. You'll fall soon enough.
Cosmic energy is building up. Conquer at once.
It's over.
Hawkeye has fallen. No need to thank me.
I'm down.
Nice. I am feeling better, Subs. Thanks for asking. I had some issues I had to work out, but my tummy is feeling much better.
You, Monica.
Thank you. So we finally got through this, huh?
I've come too far.
Like I said, the only thing I need to work on with my build right now is my defense.
You was calculated, Barton. Even
Thanks, Daniel.
magnificent.
Yeah, you know what it is? I'll be honest with you. The pandemic did a doozy on me because I'm normally very, very active. And unfortunately, I think sitting in front of the game and the television and being in one spot for extended periods of times took a toll on my body. And I had to get back into shape in order to feel better, and I think that's what really affected me was all this, just the constant sitting rather than getting up, going to work, coming home, and then sitting for a little while and then going to bed. It was just getting up, sitting, going to bed, getting up, sitting, going to bed, and that took a toll on me. It made me very unhealthy.
I think I just saved the day.
And that's my fault. I should have been getting up, exercising, and then sitting. So I take full responsibility. I made myself sick, and I had to make myself better again. But yeah, how about that Jane Foster? So Dying Light and Mad Max. Mad Max, I have not checked out. Dying Light, isn't that kind of like a horror game. Aww. Thank you, Daniel. I miss you, Sebs. And I saw your invite on PlayStation. I just saw it late. I saw it really late. It was like you invited me, I think, like in an afternoon, and I think I saw it like at 10 o'clock at night or something. Tripod, welcome, welcome. Is Dying Light a horror game? Sebs is in the house. Okay, so see what I got. I was so into the chat, I forgot about what I was doing. Let's see. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. And don't need that. Hamburger. Hamburger. Do you want me to say about the game? Yes, I do want you to say about the game. Dying Light? I thought that was a horror game. Whatever someone says next will come true. There will be peace in the entire world forever and ever and ever. That's what I want. One of your YouTube videos is copyrighted? Okay. So what about Dying Light, Daniel? Is it a horror game? I thought that was the one where you were chased by some serial killer or something. Or do I have the names mixed up? Let's see. 8 and 6 is 15. I mean 14. And 1 is 15, so it would be plus 2%, but I don't want to lose all that defense. But I'll hold on to this. That's a nice card right there. That's a nice piece of gear. Oh, Dying Light. I'm sorry. I own Dying Light. That's the one with the guy on the motorcycle, right? JS. I love how you highlight my name, dude. He's doing math like Jimmy Neutron. Yeah, Dying Light, I own that. I actually started playing that. That's the one with the guy on the motorcycle. I couldn't really get into it. I don't know why. I like it, but again, I embrace the emotional side of my humanity. I'm not cheating, JS. I stayed on the game last night. After I got off, I ate, and then I got back on and stayed on the game till 3 this morning. You funny, bro. I'm not cheating. I don't cheat, my man. 3 times Z plus 3% of your car's extended warranty. 4 times 50. 10 equals plus 2. Okay, dude, you're tripping. Of course I am playing. 1,000 subscribers for a face reveal. Although I think JS has already seen me. Right? On Twitch. These are both good pieces. Look at that. 23% to my melee. Heck yeah. I'll hold on to that. And I get rid of this. Yeah, so JS knows how old and crippled I look. And Tripod already knows. How do you know Tripod? You thought it was 100 subs? No, it's 1,000. I'm sorry. The way I feel about Jane Foster is that they came up with a really good reason for us to build Thor all over again. She's fun to play with, but she's Thor. It's just Thor. You know what I mean? I like her a lot, but it's Thor. Oh, Tripod sharing my face. But you know, I think as a gamer, sometimes we, the gamer community, don't realize how much we enjoy the journey of the build. And so even though she's just like Thor, you know, you're gonna get different pieces. You know, your Jane Foster by me more focused on range than your Thor build. I know my Jane Foster build is very rangy compared to my Thor build. So there are differences in the way you build your hero, and I think that part is fun. You're crying because you're seeing me? Tripod, I hope none of that is true. Yeah, you can take your time, JS. Thor butt girl? I don't get that. Good, I'm glad none of it is true, Tripod. Yeah, you can take your time, JS. There's no rush. I only pushed it because I'm streaming. Other people are streaming. They're pushing it to 150. I don't want to lag behind too long and look like I don't know what I'm doing. So that's the only reason why you see me at 150, because I know what I'm doing, but I want people to know that I know what I'm doing, you know? I'm not going to title my channel Raw Pro Playing and take 2 weeks to build up Jane Foster. Oh, why did they hold that for review, Tripod? That's weird. there are two endings. The weapons can break, but you can upgrade them to put fire spikes and many, many more things on the weapons. You can find NPCs on the street, and some of them will want to attack you. You're talking about Days Light, right? Ah, yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. When I am first building any hero, I'm not really focused on whether they're range, melee, defense, or heroic. I really focus on what gear I get in each mission I run, and I select the best possible gear percentage wise for her growth. Then when I get her up to 150, then I start worrying about, okay, do I want her to be a ranged character? Do I want to get gear that's heavier on melee? Do I need to build up my defense first? But right now, she's a ranged character because that's the gear that I got. I didn't really plan it that way. She's heavy on range because in the missions that I ran, I got some really good gear that popped up her range. But this isn't my final build for Jane Foster because range attacks isn't my style of play. I use range attacks, but I prefer to be up close and personal. And I like my characters to be heavy on defense because heroes are supposed to be able to take a lot of damage. You know, whenever you open up a comic book, you see heroes with bullets bouncing off of them. I don't want to run with a Thor that like gets shot and now I need to run and go look for some health. You know, to me, that's not a Thor. Bob the Builder can't fix it. I'm sorry, Tripod. Yeah, Dying Light. I have it. That's the one with the guy on the motorcycle. World War II sounds very confusing. Wars usually are confusing because there's a lot of backdoor associations going on. Alright, let's see, getting rid of that, getting rid of that, that, and that. Let's see. These three cards are very similar. And all three of them are Valor heavy. Interesting. I'll hold off on that for now. According to my friends, my mouth looks like World War II. Well, Sebs, my mouth looks like World War II as well. So you and I have something in common. We have World War II mouths. I'm right there with you, bro. When I entered the game the first time I jumped out of a plane, I don't remember that. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. You're not telling me if it's the game with the guy on the motorcycle. A murder mystery video or ours? I don't know what I would do a murder mystery. I like mysteries. I'm a mystery guy. Yeah, we're twins. Yeah, I like mystery. In fact, if you guys like mystery, there's this guy I listen to on YouTube a lot. His name is Mr. Ballin. He's an ex-Marine that was, you know, honorably discharged due to an injury he received while on assignment. But he now does YouTube videos just about mysterious stories that he comes across, and his delivery is, it's very sterile and digestible for anybody listening. You know, he doesn't use a lot of complicated terms, and he's very clear and concise in everything he says. But if you like mystery, look up Mr. Ballin. And Ballin is Ballen. It sounds like Ballin, but he pronounces it Mr. Ballin. And he's a really good YouTuber. I like him a lot. You're gonna do a murder mystery video and edit it and post it? Cool. It's not Dying Light? Days Gone. That's what I'm thinking of. Now you see why I got confused. Dying Light, Days Gone. It begins with a D. Yeah, Mr. Ballin. I saw that there was an Omario versus Omarion. Who had the bigger forehead? I'm cracking myself up now. You like that? Days Gone. Yeah, okay. JS, you like that? Oh shoot. I think Omarion might win that. Oh shoot. What didn't work, Sebs? Days Gone, I started playing it, but I couldn't fully get into it, Daniel, because when I started playing Days Gone, it was like around when this game was new, and I was spending so much time on this game, I didn't have enough time to really immerse myself into Days Gone. And if I'm not immersed in the game, I can't enjoy it, so I pull back from it. I'm learning more and more about myself as a gamer when I play for long hours. I can't just play a game in a sterile fashion. I really like get into the game as if I'm there, and if I can't fully do that, I can't enjoy the experience. Dying Light. Can you just give me some details about what it's about, like story-wise, Daniel, when it comes to Dying Light or JS? In fact, you know what? Let me be modern, and just look it up on the computer that's sitting in front of me. Oh, I'm so old, I'm too lazy to do that. Oh, I see Dying Light 2, Stay Human. So they have a part 2 to it coming out already. It's a 2015 survival horror game developed by Techland and published by Warner Brothers. The game's story follows an undercover agent. Hold on. I had to click on it to read more. Oops. The game's story follows an undercover agent named Kyle Crane, who is sent to infiltrate a quarantine zone in Middle Eastern city called Haran. It features an enemy-infested open-world city with a dynamic... Oh, that game! They're slow and clumsy during the daytime, but become extremely aggressive at night. Interesting twist on zombies. I like it. The gameplay is focused on weapon-based combat and parkour. Uh-oh. Allowing players to choose fight or flight when presented with dangers. The game also features an asymmetrical multiplayer mode, originally set to be pre-order bonus, and a 4-player cooperative multiplayer mode. You still crying over my picture, subs? I'm just playing. Frosty! You take more zombies in that dark and scary game than you thought you would, JS? Yeah, at subs, you're hilarious. Now you can show my picture to your mother, so she knows who I am. Since you have it. She can see all the gray in my beard. Dying Light looks interesting, and the reason why I said that game, Daniel, is because I saw a preview for that, I think about a year ago when it was still in development, and it looked like in the preview or the trailer, somebody was outside and went into like a convenience store, and they were hiding behind some counters, and then some other people came into the convenience like looking to scavenge, and they're hiding behind a counter and then ran out. So like, I think you have to fight zombies and other players at the same time. Am I right about that? It's an open world combat with zombies and other live players. Because that, I forgot about that game. That did look pretty incredible. Oh, you meant hearing me, Sebs. That's not the game, Daniel? Well, if I want to get my heroic up, I could use any of these, but I don't really relish lowering my melee any more than it already is. And I already have it up to 150, so. It was a DLC that you could play like a Warzone. Oh, and you could play it with your friends? Okay. Well, the preview for that game looked really good. Sorry, I had to adjust my microphone just then. When was that released, Daniel? Actually, let me look at that again. Yeah, you know, I think I said this before, and I never realized it about myself, but I love horror movies. It's hands down my favorite movie genre. There's nothing else I like more than horror. But for some reason, I don't like horror games. And I don't understand that about myself. I don't like horror game and I used to play horror games a lot. I played Resident Evil when it first came out. I played Parasite Eve. Parasite Eve might have been the horror game to just turn me off to all horror games, because that's the game that I told you where once you beat the game, other areas open up on the map that weren't available during the regular game. And one of the areas, it was a map of New York, and one of the areas that opens up when you beat the game is the Chrysler Building. And the Chrysler Building had 75 floors in it, just like the real Chrysler Building. And during the game, you have save points to save your progress. But in this Chrysler Building with 75 floors, they had no save points. So I sat down and played this Chrysler Building section for 9 hours. And I think I got to like the 60th floor. And I had full health. And I opened the closet. And something just killed me. Instantly. Took all my health. And there was nowhere to save, so the only way to get through the Chrysler Building was to start over. And I had been going through that building for 9 hours, and I was like, why in the world would I go back into this building and try and get to the top after spending 9 hours and was on full health and could die in an instant? Why would I put myself through that again? And I never, ever played Parasite Eve again. And that might be what turned me off the horror games in general, because I was like, I don't like games that you can spend that much time in and then die without any explanation or understanding on how. Because it wasn't the type of game where you get one-shotted. But something one-shotted me. Okay. 9 hours. Parasite Eve. My goodness. And it was a game-changing horror game. Like back when horror games were trying to outdo each other, Parasite Eve was a game changer. You could actually find guns in that game and customize them. Like they had workbenches where you could go up and customize the type of gun that you were using. And this is like over 20 something years ago. Like customizable guns in video games back then were unheard of. But they had it in Parasite Eve. No, it wasn't a bug, Daniel. It was like game over. You died. It wasn't a glitch. It wasn't a bug. It killed me. Had the music and everything, like dun dun dun. You died. Dun dun dun. Like it was a definite death. This is back before games had glitches. This is back before the internet. This is a cartridge or a disc. Let's see. Oh, it's already past 1? Oh, yes it is. I gotta do a quick match. Wow. The day has reset, folks. Time to do a quick match and get my Rise and Shine mission out the way. Dun, dun, dun. You died. Oh my God, Daniel, I was so heated. I was furious. Furious. That might have been the one time in my entire gaming life that I threw down the controller. I don't break my stuff. I can have the same cell phone for like 8 years straight without a crack in the screen. 8 years later, it still looks like a brand new cell phone. So, for me to throw down a controller after a game, I didn't break it, but I do think I remember throwing down the controller after that. I don't get that angry. Fig, honestly, you sit down at 9 a.m. in the morning, and at 6 p.m. at night, something jumps out of the closet and kills you with no accessible save points. I don't even think I got P breaks. Maybe I did, because I think you could pause games back then. But still, 9 hours? You know how many bottles of Mountain Dew it took to get through that? Yeah, I'll play with you, Sebs. I thought you say it's time for a bath. Sebs, did you start working on your, No, I didn't say it's time for a bath. Sebs, did you start working on your Jane Foster?
I'm attempting to locate the shield agents and will update your HUD shortly. AIM will most certainly try to hamper your progress. Be careful.
What the flip is the...
An elite AIM team is close by and on alert. Updating your HUD.
Jane Foster is what you see on the screen right now. The new Thor. That's Jane Foster. That's her name.
Now this is a battle!
Jane Foster was Thor's love interest in the first Thor movie. And in the comic books, Jane Foster is diagnosed with cancer. And she's dying of cancer, but somehow she becomes worthy of wielding Mjolnir. Hold on a moment, we need to reload this.
Welcome to your reckoning!
Alright, so now people are gonna play with buttons, so I'm leaving. Yeah, that's Jane Foster. What the flip is a Jane Foster? JS, did you watch the Omarion versus Mario? Don't be sad, Subs. Remember, there's a lot more in life than just video games. And sometimes other areas of our life take precedence, you know? Always remember that. Never let any one area of your life addict your attention. Daniel, what do you mean you're sorry, but how? I didn't catch that. I missed what you were referring to. I apologize, Daniel. Don't be sad, Sebs. It's funny, my brother once told me that, Daniel. He said, I play my life like a video game and I'm always trying to level up. And I really liked that when he said that. Oh, you didn't know that, Daniel, about Jane Foster getting cancer? Yeah, and here's the kicker. Becoming Thor actually wasn't good for her cancer. Because as Jane Foster, she would be sick and dying from, hey, what's up, D? Thor! As Jane Foster, she would be sick and dying from cancer. She would go and get her chemo, and the chemo would help her go into remission. But when she changed to Thor, and then she changed back to Jane Foster later, when she changes back to Jane Foster, all the treatment from the chemo is wiped. So it's almost like she didn't get any chemo treatment. So now when she goes back to Jane Foster, she's even more sick than she was before she became Thor. So I think that's eventually why she became a Valkyrie. I don't know if something about becoming a Valkyrie helped cure her cancer, but she was literally a dying hero. Yeah, Seb, let me invite you. Donnell, how are you, my man? Donnell, I need to take you out for a beer, bro. I owe you. It's been a minute. Yeah, she was a dying hero. That is messed up. Like, how is it every time she turned to a human, she had to go climb into a bed and fight cancer? I mean, really? Like, Peter Parker, when he's Peter Parker, all he has to worry about is paying bills and being to his job at the Daily Bugle on time. But Jane Foster had to worry about dying every single time she changed back to Jane. She's crazy. What's up, D? I heard from Gerard last week, Donnell. He said to say what's up to everybody. I'm still down for the podcast, D. I'm 100% down. I'm gonna invite you, Sebs. Give me one sec. Sebs, what's your online name again? Can you just put it in the chat for me briefly, please? No, I didn't watch Dragon Ball, Daniel. Sebs, if you don't mind just putting your screen name again in the chat. And I didn't watch Dragon Ball, Daniel. Are you working today, Donnell? And Donnell, I've got a couple of movies I really need to show you. So, as soon as you have some free time, even if it's today, hit me up, bro. I've got some movies that are killers, like must-sees. And I've been meaning to invite you over to at least show you one of them. Oh, you're in the office. Okay. All right, Sebs, I'm looking up that name right now. Thank you. You should have an invite. Thanks, D. Are you working late? Do you have any time today? If not today, sometime this week. And the sooner the better, because I'm gonna be getting back to work soon. That's actually something I need to touch base with you on. But yeah, man, the sooner the better. There's a couple of movies out there, folks, that you can get for free on Tubi television that I highly recommend. There's Sebs. One of the movies, the name is Uncanny, like Uncanny X-Men, but it's just Uncanny. That's movie number 1. And then the second movie you want to watch is called No One Lives. And No One Lives is unbelievable. Unfortunately, you're not old enough for that yet, Sebs. But which one? The other one.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. You're on an Xbox?
No, I have an Xbox.
I was gonna say, because we shouldn't be able to play together if you're on an Xbox.
Yeah.
Lady Thor?
Alright, so go ahead, choose your mission. You're not working on your Thor yet? On your Jane Foster?
No, I can see Jane Foster, but because I know you don't like people being the same hero.
Well, I mean, they're new heroes. So I don't mind. I've been playing with other people with Jane Foster because everybody's playing Jane Foster right now. Now, 2 months from now or a month from now, I don't want to do that. But you got to give people a little leeway in the first week. Everybody's going to play Jane Foster. You know, so if you want to play her, I don't mind.
Nah, it's
I have a Netflix subscription that I go back and forth with. I'm currently not subscribed, but the Umbrella Academy just came out with season 3 or 4, and I have to see that, so I will be getting Netflix soon. The Umbrella Academy, if you guys haven't watched it, is a really good kind of indie superhero team. Age of Ultron or Civil War? Let's see, D. Civil War. The reason why I say Civil War is because Civil War is the introduction of Spider-Man. And you got a clash between heroes, which is something you didn't get to see on screen before. Ultron was great, but I would choose Civil War. Love zombie movies. Probably that's what I watch the most is zombie movies. You sure you don't want it? It's okay. Let's go.
No, I thought we were playing with other people.
Why?
Oh. I thought it was just us.
No.
Oh.
I'll tell you right now, on the top of my list for zombie movies is Train to Busan. Top of my list, Train to Busan. That zombie movie is ridiculous. I even think it tops World War Z. With Brad Pitt. I like Train to Busan better. I think it was better written. It's a lot. I think it's way more scary. It's frightening, very frightening. Sebs, why do you think it was just you and I? Do you like my answer, Donnell? Civil War over Age of Ultron? And see, that's another thing. Remember I told you, Daniel, I'm really weird like that for some reason. I don't get into things that everybody else is watching. I'm very weird like that. I don't follow the crowd. I've never seen The Sopranos. I've never seen Twilight. I've never seen Empire. I've never seen what's the one that everybody was watching with sword and sorcery and dragons that's on TV? Game of Thrones. I've never seen Game of Thrones. I don't watch things that everybody else watches for some reason. I shy away from that. To me it's like the equivalent of everybody trying to get the same person's autograph at the same time. I don't want to be that person standing there waving the pen and the paper hoping they look my way. I could care less. And I feel like when everybody flocks
Boy, is that a sentence I never thought
to
I'd go
one
on
show.
But listen, Agent Morales has been getting distressed
I don't know.
Shield agents in the future.
I don't like being part of the crowd. I feel like a sheep.
Years ago.
Hey, what happened to Sebs?
But she says we've got to be cautious. That old Shield team happens to be the one our friend Taskmaster betrayed.
Okay, Sebs, if you can still hear me, I'm gonna get you back. There must have been a glitch in the game. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna invite you back, okay? So if you, Sebs, if you can hear me and you happen to be in a group with other people, just exit out to the main menu and then come back in, and I'm gonna send you a new invite. Sorry for the confusion.
Anyone else getting deja vu, or is it just me? Get it? No need to laugh. I know you did one of those hard-nosed exhales.
Oh, I tried getting into The Walking Dead, and it when it first came out, like the very first like Walking Dead, I tried getting into it. It didn't interest me for some reason. It wasn't scary.
Guess Morales had a good hunch. How's the future treating you, Matt?
I heard you, Sebs. It kicked you out. I'm gonna invite you back, bro. No problem. Yeah, I tried watching Walking Dead. Now, some series I don't watch because I don't think I'll like it, like The Sopranos. But other series, I just kind of don't want to be watching it at the same time as everybody else, like Game of Thrones. But Game of Thrones is a subject matter that I would appreciate. Again, it's something I have to be in the mood for. Like, for instance, a really good sword and sorcery movie with dragons is Beowulf. If you guys haven't seen Beowulf, you gotta go and get that and watch that today. Because it's one of the most unique movies I've ever seen. Because what they did is they took live action people and overlaid the live action people with animation. So everything you're watching looks lifelike and real, but it's animated. So the blend of reality and animation in the movie Beowulf is unmatched. It's literally unbelievable. And there's very famous actors in that movie. Angelina Jolie's in it. Anthony Hopkins in it. There's another very famous actor in it. Malkovich. John Malkovich is in it. So you got John Malkovich, Anthony Hopkins, Angelina Jolie in a movie with sword and sorcery with dragons that's overlaid with animation. Bro, let me tell you, Beowulf is dope. You have to see Beowulf. If you like Game of Thrones, you gotta see Beowulf. What's up, Sebs?
Sorry, it just kicked me out.
I know, it's alright. Queue up for the mission.
If it doesn't work again, you can just say that word, right?
It doesn't matter. It's okay. No, I don't mind, Sebs.
Alright. Maybe
I'm sorry, Daniel, that my enthusiasm for Walking Dead isn't that high, though. I've been watching movies and shows for so long that within 5 minutes of watching something, I can tell if I'm going to enjoy it or not.
this looks cool.
And I'm not being I'm being very critical too. I'm not just judging it on a whim. I'm usually very critical of what I watch. Because the older you get, the less time you have to watch stuff. So you don't want to waste time on things you know you won't enjoy.
Have you read it up?
Well, yeah, already up. You don't like playing with other people, huh?
No.
Hey, Doc. We heard you managed to locate one of AIM's main research facilities.
We have, Captain Rogers.
Sophia, what's
Could
up?
help us take it down.
With pleasure, Doctor. Jarvis,
How are ya?
were you able to do the thing I asked?
If by thing you mean
Is that Nana Big Chew?
network activity to ensure any project data destroyed on site is deleted permanently, then
Tell your mom I said hello.
In addition, we'll carpet bomb the area before you arrive. It probably won't damage the structures much, but it should help soften AIM's security response.
A fiery proclamation from the skies, Commander. I like your style.
Yeah, I think Sophia had just said hello.
Yeah. No. Has anybody else texted in the chat?
Security will
No,
be tight.
I don't think
AIM
so.
might even have elite
I
assassination
think
teams on
Sophia
I've sent my best people to back you up, but be ready for anything.
Yes, it is Nana Big Shoe. See, I remember. Good to see you, Sophia. Nana. I'll use people with multiple accounts. Like Dionysus is also Billy, and then you got Sophia is Nana Big Shoe. Sebs is ABC. You gotta give me a lot to remember.
Now I kick your ass.
I'm just trying to find the check.
Yep, I was actually over here making sure there weren't anywhere passing by. I usually check. I played every mission in the game. Multiple times.
You're finished.
I think it's getting a bit confusing.
Yeah.
Yourself in the background.
Yeah, Daniel, I agree. Some zombie movies do a terrible job. I'm sorry, can you say that again, Sebs?
Enemies engaged, y'all!
Yes.
I think it's getting a bit confusing because you can hear yourself in the background.
No, I can hear it, but it's not confusing me. It's actually not as loud as you think. Yeah, it's not as loud as you think. I don't really hear an echo. Yeah, it's not. That's not a problem. It actually isn't that audible to me.
You're doing something right if AIM feels the need to take you on directly.
Yes, Daniel, some zombie movies are just horrible, where it looks like they just bit down on those fake blood packs in their mouth and then growl a little bit and they think they're a zombie. You know, put a little blackness under their eye, bite down on a fake blood packet, and then, "Arrgh, I'm a zombie." It takes a little bit more than that.
This game is really fun. I really like it.
Have you ever read comic book, Sebs?
I've read a Batman one.
They found you.
Well, all of these characters that you're playing in the game, you can read about in the in Marvel comic books, and it would, I think, make your enjoyment of the game that much more because you then could relate to the characters that you're playing because you'll have already read about them.
Is my mic better?
Your mic's fine.
Okay, might need a minute. Or 10.
What, you mean 5 minutes ago?
Yeah. No, last time we played.
Last time I played, I thought I muted you. And I said that we would only talk through the chat, remember?
Well, remember when we were talking to you?
No, I don't remember your mic ever being muffled.
You got one.
You trying to get a PC or a laptop, Daniel? I hear you.
Thunder is strong.
Sorry, Sebs? Why not?
Nice. Aim target down.
It says my work software is already used, and I never used it.
Well, that's because somebody might have hit you and taken away from that intrinsic energy. See, when your powers fill up, they don't stay filled if you're fighting and you get hurt. Because that's the enemy taking away your ability to use those powers. So you have to be strategic on how you use your abilities and stay away from the enemy so that you are able to continue using your abilities. So it's not that you used your Hulkbuster, it's that you had the energy to use your Hulkbuster and you lost it when somebody hit you. Yeah. He said loads of people have hit me. I like that.
Yeah, nicely done.
Uh-huh.
My friend called someone, Humpty Dumpty, they called, my mom said it's silly.
Okay.
Well, it's kind of rude too. But I'm not going to say it well other people hear it.
I don't think anybody can hear you. I'm the only one that can hear you.
I can hear myself a little bit through the chat.
Oh, really? You know, you're probably hearing yourself through my headphones. I think my microphone is more sensitive than it should be because the microphone on my headphones are literally on the earpiece. So anything coming through the earpiece might be audible to the microphone.
Stay alert, Avengers. AIM still has a lot of security in the area.
I will try and do a different game with a live stream for you tomorrow, Daniel. I'll try.
I mean, he could do it now, after this mission, because I'm going to go after this mission.
Oh, okay. How's the family doing? How's your family doing?
Do you think these AIM operatives think they're on the right side of history?
Never underestimate
Sorry?
the power of a big paycheck, Doctor.
I think most
Yes.
of these folks are motivated by ideology, which is even more dangerous.
Quiet now.
Is getting what?
Okay, less talking, more fighting.
Today my hammer comes for your
I knew what at your school? Oh, she's gonna work at the school that you're at? Seb, you don't want the chests in here?
Oh, that's in the chat. Oh. I didn't see it.
That's what I was doing down there fighting the enemies so you could get the chest.
Watch out for new tricks.
It's okay.
While you defeat AIM's forces, I will hack into their systems and destroy their data.
My friend said to me, he said I look like Humpty Dumpty.
Had a daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, that's mean. Why did he say that? Do you want those chests?
Nice work, Avengers. The exit is below your current position.
Let's see. So now you got me thinking, Daniel, about what I'm gonna live stream tomorrow. What? Well, what time is it where you are now? What time is it now? Huh? All right, so then what just happened?
I'm making preparations to pull my people back. Feels like we've done what we set
Dude,
out
you
to
still
do.
didn't get the chest.
Thank you, Avengers. Commander.
You're welcome. And likewise, Doctor.
I did it.
Nice work, people. We made a difference here today. Indeed.
That's weird. I was still in the room picking them up. You went down there and got all 3 chests already? I don't know how you did that. I'm not sure what it will be, Daniel.
Wait.
But now that I know that you're interested in seeing something different, I'm gonna do my best to work myself towards something different. Play after what? Oh, okay. Oh, it's okay. I already got that.
This is nothing.
Yeah, I thought I already got that one. I thought Yeah, I thought I... It was open? Yeah, that's because I opened it. Daniel, Sebs, Daniel says hello. You should see it in the chat, though. Daniel, Sebs said hello. Sebs is playing Iron Man right now.
Well, I don't.
Iron Man's my favorite.
Looked important.
Trust me, if you grew up during the time period I did, Spider-Man would be your favorite. Yep. Really?
Looks like it's about to stomp.
Why? I sound like I'm from England.
It's repairing. Target the eye.
Yeah, but everybody in America speaks English. I mean, if it's their home country, you know, if it's their native country, I mean, if they're from out of the country, I mean, then maybe they don't speak English, but anybody born and raised here speaks English. No, we speak American English, but we all speak English. Oh, so, but you were born in New Jersey. Yeah. No. No, Are you talking about the hospital you were born at? You're talking about New Jersey. Okay. I'm sorry, what? No, go ahead, go ahead. Sure. Why did he do that? Oh no, your friends are gonna take care of their head.
It's down for the moment. Go for a time.
If what? It's okay.
Stand a chance.
Me? I just said it's okay.
The side vents are looking vulnerable again.
Man, he did a number on you.
Thanks, buddy. Playtime's over, kid! Tony's back! Now it's a party!
You guys are so cute.
Looks like it's about to stomp.
Got it down!
Yes. All kids should listen to their mother. You asked the wrong question. I'm not ganging up on you. That's your mother. Oh boy. No, you gotta respect your mom. I'm not ganging up on you. I'm just doing what anybody should do, and that's respect their mother.
So much for Monica's cunning plan B. All that precious research down the digital drain.
Plan C and D. In the meantime, I'm pulling my people back. I suggest you do the same, Doctor.
Oh, all day Spider-Man beats Batman. All day.
Here today.
Here's the thing. Batman is very capable, and he's even that much more capable when he's prepared. But no one can prepare for a spider sense. Spider-Man's spider sense is what makes him Spider-Man. You can't creep up on him. You can't attack him without him knowing. And you don't know that he knows. And you have no way to anticipate Spider-Man's spider sense. And Batman is only as strong as a human in peak condition. Spider-Man has the proportional strength and speed of a spider. I mean, the dude can lift a bus. Batman can't do that. Alright? And then Spider-Man can dodge machine gun fire with his eyes closed. Batman can't match the speed and strength of Spider-Man, and he cannot compensate for his spider sense. Now, I know Batman's gone up against faster and stronger foes, but not faster and stronger foes that have a spider sense. In fact, real quick, in fact, Spider-Man's spider sense is downplayed for the sake of the movies. But there's no way Spider-Man's getting touched in the comic books the way he gets touched in the movies, because his spider sense makes him that competent. So, good question, but I would pick Spidey all day. Hey, Billy! Go. He doesn't have powers.
No, he does, but I know his secret.
He's got brain power.
Well, and he's rich, that's his power.
You're being funny, Seb. I'm rich.
I gotta go now.
Okay. Possibly. It all depends. We'll play it by ear. But I appreciate you stopping through, Sebs. Alright? And tell your mom I said good night.
I just can't go in the game. I can stay on the live stream after my daughter. I just can't go in the game.
Okay.
I've moved the PlayStation to my mom's room.
Okay. Alright.
I can still stay on, but I just can't stay on the game.
Okay. Well, that I might still be on because I've already been streaming for 2 hours. So, we'll see how much longer I'll be on. But it was fun playing with you. Alright. Tell your mom I said hello. No problem. Tell her I said thank you for letting me play with you. Okay. Bye, Sebs. Alrighty. His plot armor is undefeated. What is plot armor? I've never heard of plot armor. I know Batman devised an armored bat suit. Is that what you're referring to? But I've never heard it referred to as plot armor. Tickle the like button if you haven't already, folks. Follow the link pinned to the top of the chat. Lots of marvelous content to browse on the channel. Movie recommendations, music recommendations, and more. I appreciate your company. Getting rid of whatever I don't need. Yeah, and just so you know, Billy, Batman's battle IQ is far beyond Spider-Man's. Batman's battle IQ is far beyond Spider-Man's. But unfortunately, that battle IQ does nothing to overcome Spider-Man's spider sense. You know, in fact, I think when I was growing up, you kind of always knew when Spider-Man was going to have a bad day because there would always be something that would affect his spider sense. Like he would have a bad cold or something and his head was cloudy. But the only time Batman really got his butt whipped in the comic books is when his spider sense wasn't working for some reason. And then the writers got so tired of trying to come up with a reason for Spider-Man's spider sense not working that they started creating characters who didn't affect his spider sense, like Venom. And that's how we got Venom, because he's one of Spider-Man's ultimate enemies because he does not trigger his spider sense. And I can't think of it off the top of my head right now, but there are a couple of people, a couple of other enemies that have the ability to not set off his spider sense. I know Carnage is one of them because Carnage is just an extension of Venom. But excluding Carnage and Venom, there's not many other characters who do not trip Spider-Man's spider sense. Yes, and that's another thing. Thank you for pointing that out, Daniel. That's another thing that's been misunderstood about Spider-Man over the years. As time has gone forward, people have made Spider-Man to be out to be just like this jokester all the time or this comedy relief. He's not. Spider-Man, Peter Parker was one of the most serious, focused, like academic people you would know. He was only used comedy while he was fighting to piss off his enemies so that his enemies would get enraged and wouldn't think clearly while they were fighting. But Spider-Man is not some dude that runs around cracking jokes with everybody. In fact, he's not even considered funny. Peter Parker is not considered funny amongst his peers. He's considered a bookworm who doesn't get out enough to have fun. That's Peter Parker. You know, because that's the thing. When Peter was young and in high school and in college, and he had to go out and fight crime, and people would be like, hey, Peter, let's go out to this party. And he'd be like, no, I gotta study. But he would use that as an excuse to go out and be Spider-Man. But he was never a comedian. But now you would think that all Peter Parker does is crack jokes. Or all Spider-Man does is crack jokes. That's not really Spider-Man. No, Carnage wasn't Venom's child. Venom broke into a jail cell one time. And when he was leaving the jail, a small piece of the symbiote suit was left on the jagged wall that he bust out of. In the prison that he bust out of, there was an insane guy in there. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but one of the convicts was in like an insane portion of the prison where they keep all the convicts that are insane, and that little bit of venom that was left on the jagged wall of the jail basically took over. I think his name's Cassidy. But whatever the insane guy's name is in prison, the symbiote, the piece of symbiote that took him over made him into Carnage. So, Venom didn't create Carnage. He didn't even know Carnage existed until Carnage showed up, which doesn't make sense to me. Because I don't know how you're not aware that a piece of you became something else. But it happened. Ah. I like it. I like it like that. 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 Nice. That was a nice card right there. Piece of gear right there. Got my stats up a little bit more. Just a little bit. Whoops. Okay, make sure I didn't accidentally switch that out. Let's see. There we go. Looking good. Yeah, I just gotta get her defense up a little bit more and she will be solid. Yeah. That's the thing about Spider-Man is people undermate his speed and strength. Let me put into context for you how strong Spider-Man actually is. Okay? The Juggernaut is unstoppable. Once Juggernaut starts moving, you can't stop him. Okay? Spider-Man and the Juggernaut once fought. Obviously, Spider-Man couldn't do anything to damage or slow down the Juggernaut because it's the Juggernaut. What Spider-Man eventually did in a battle with the Juggernaut is he lured him into like a hole and then filled that hole with cement. That was one battle that Spider-Man had with the Juggernaut. But in another battle with the Juggernaut, the Juggernaut somehow managed to catch Spider-Man. Because I think Spider-Man was trying to pull his helmet off. Because I think Spider-Man was fighting the Juggernaut along with the X-Men. But when Juggernaut got Spider-Man into the bear hug and began squeezing Spider-Man to break his back, Spider-Man put all his energy into one last punch and dented the front of Juggernaut's armor. Okay? That's really, really, really hard to do. And Juggernaut was so impressed with Spider-Man's punch because Spider-Man put so much energy into it, he went unconscious afterwards. So he slams his hands into Juggernaut's chest and then passes out. So he's passed out in a bear hug right now. And Juggernaut looked at this dude and was like, wow, I'm really impressed with this little guy. And because of that, he just dropped him and left him there and walked away. But Spider-Man hit Juggernaut so hard that he passed out and impressed Juggernaut. Okay? So what I'm saying is if Spider-Man hit Batman with the same strength that he hit Juggernaut with, his fist would go through Batman. Like, you know how a shotgun leaves a hole in somebody's chest? Well, that's what would happen with Spider-Man's fist on Batman's chest. Spider-Man is really, really strong. He just pulls his punches all the time because he's a good guy. But he's anything but weak. Yeah, like Spider-Man literally can punch holes in things, especially people, you know, a normal human being. And in the end, Batman is a normal human being and Spider-Man is not. And that's why I don't like Superman versus Batman movie, because everybody knows in a real unprepared fight, Batman's toast. If he doesn't have any kryptonite, it's a wrap. He can't do anything against Superman. So I'm impressed with Batman's intelligence, but I don't think he has anything on the strength, speed, and spider sense of a Spider-Man. And I was upset when they had a Marvel versus DC comic book, and they had Captain America go up against Batman. And number one, Captain America is Batman with a super serum. That's the best way to explain Captain America. Take Batman and give him a super serum. That's Captain America. And Captain America throws his shield around all day long and bounces it off of things all day long and calculates in a split second the trajectory of his shield and catches it. So how does Batman knock out Captain America with a boomerang? Will you tell me that, please? How is Batman knocking out Captain America with a boomerang? So, I don't really get into Marvel DC competitions too much because there's always going to be something that's hokey about that. Daniel, I think you might be confused on the storyline and who Spider-Man was punching. Unless you're talking about a more recent comic book. Hi, Sebs. There was a comics story. There was a storyline in the Spider-Man comic where obviously Spider-Man is very involved with Mary Jane. In this comic book, she was the love of his life at the time. And the Herald of Galactus at the time was a guy named Firelord. Now, most people know Silver Surfer as the Herald of Galactus. But Galactus has had many heralds over the years. And one of them was this guy named Fire Lord. He could fly, and it looked like his hair was on fire. And he was super strong, and he carried a staff. And that staff, he could shoot fire out of either end of the staff. And his name was Fire Lord. Well, I don't remember why. This is the part of the story that I forget. But for some reason, Fire Lord threatened to kill Mary Jane. And Spider-Man went berserk. And there's very few comic books you see Spider-Man go berserk in. But let me tell you, Spider-Man went so berserk on Firelord for threatening to kill Mary Jane. He was beating Firelord to a pulp, and it took the entire Avengers to pull Spider-Man off of Firelord, and Firelord is a herald of Galactus. But when it doesn't matter how strong you are, when Spider-Man starts hitting you, he's so fast and strong enough to hit you hard that he can subdue you, even if you're a herald of Galactus. That is a better example of how strong and ferocious Spider-Man can be if he really wants to. No, Daniel. Okay, I know exactly what story you're talking about, and I'm going to clear that up for you completely right now. Spider-Man, as Peter Parker, was sent to Germany as a reporter. As Peter Parker, he went over to Germany to cover a story about a string of murders. The murders that were occurring were from a CIA agent named Charlie that had gone rogue. So during the entire comic, you think Charlie is a man running across Europe killing people. Okay? It was a revenge type of thing where somebody that was part of an agency decided to go and kill all the other agency members. So anyway, Peter Parker is sent over to Germany to cover this story. Wolverine used to be part of the CIA agency that this killer Charlie was part of. Charlie is actually a woman. Wolverine goes over to Germany to use his tracking skills to track down Charlie, because Charlie's running across Europe killing off all of these agency members. So Wolverine finally catches up with Charlie, and that's when you find out Charlie is a woman that used to be romantically involved with Wolverine. So Wolverine says to Charlie, you know, when they catch up with you, they're going to torture you. And Charlie says, okay, so Wolverine, end it quickly for me. So Wolverine puts his fist up to Charlie's gut and gets ready to pop the claws to kill Charlie quickly. But Spider-Man sees this from a distance, and he doesn't realize that Charlie is agreeing to be killed by Wolverine. So Spider-Man, being the good guy, wants to save Wolverine from killing this woman. Doesn't realize that they have a relationship. So Spider-Man webs Wolverine's hand, and when he pulls it, Wolverine had already popped his claws, and they stabbed Charlie but not in a way that would kill her quickly. So now Charlie is dying slowly and painfully, and Wolverine is mad. And that's why Spider-Man and Wolverine fought. But Wolverine could not touch Spider-Man in that fight, because Spider-Man has spider sense and he's too fast for Wolverine. And that fight right there proved it. And then when Spider-Man got a good look at Wolverine, he hit him as hard as he could and knocked Wolverine, who's made of adamantium, mind you. That's like hitting a car. That's how heavy Wolverine is. Wolverine weighs over an excess of 600 pounds. And Spider-Man hit him and knocked him across they were fighting in a graveyard. And he knocked him all across the entire graveyard. And Spider-Man was so fast that the moment Wolverine's head connected with the tombstone that he was knocked into, Spider-Man was on top of him and hitting him over and over and over and over and over and over, trying to knock him out before he got up. Because Spider-Man knows how lethal Wolverine is. And he hit Wolverine's face so hard that he cracked the tombstone behind Wolverine's head. He broke the tombstone. That's how hard Spider-Man was hitting Wolverine. And then the way the fight ended was at that very moment after Spider-Man cracked Wolverine's head on the tombstone, Wolverine put his fist up under Spider-Man's chin, and Spider-Man at that moment had his hands around Wolverine's head, and they both froze. And Spider-Man said, "We both know I'm faster than you and could snap your neck before you can pop your claws." And Wolverine said, "Yeah, bub, but we both know I'm the only one with the guts to do it." And that's the way the fight ended. He didn't pop his claws, and Spider-Man didn't twist his neck. They just stood there, and then they backed off, and Wolverine explained the situation to Spider-Man, so Spider-Man understood, and Spider-Man apologized. But yes, I'm telling you, I know I'm a collector. I know that story in and out. That is one of my favorite Spider-Man stories, because that story right there proved to me that Spider-Man can beat Wolverine, but Wolverine's the real killer. So they were both right. Spider-Man was fast enough to snap his neck, but Wolverine was the killer. He would pop his claws before Spider-Man would kill. So in an essence, they both won and they both lost. And I thought it was the most amazing fight I'd ever seen between two heroes in Marvel Comics. I'm glad you enjoyed the story. I love telling that story. I'm surprised you brought it up, Daniel. Sabs, I'm not ignoring you. I'm sorry. I was in the middle of a really juicy story. Who do I think is the strongest Avenger? Hulk. Yeah, it's 1-1. Because see, the thing is no matter how much Wolverine wants to hit Spider-Man, he can't. He can't hit Spider-Man if Spider-Man doesn't want to be hit. But no matter how much Spider-Man wants to hurt Wolverine, he can't. Because Wolverine's made of adamantium and he's got a healing factor. So the only thing Spider-Man could do is snap his neck. That's it. That is it. Yeah. It's a juicy story, boy. But yeah, Spider-Man wasn't punching a woman to death. He was punching Wolverine. And Wolverine was about to kill that woman. But he was about to kill her because they had agreed upon it. And that's the one detail that Spider-Man didn't know. It was a suicide. And Spider-Man thought it was a murder. Love that story. Love telling it too. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, Wolverine's a killer, Sebs. He's an animal. He's a sane animal. But once Wolverine sees red, get out of his way. Even put it this way. When Wolverine went berserk, his own teammates told each other to clear out. Because it didn't matter whether you were Cyclops or the Beast or Storm, he'd gut you too in the middle of a blind rage. That's how animalistic Wolverine is. And then he'd wake up later and be like, oh, I did that? Because he's just completely an animal when he goes berserk. Can I tell another one? Okay. This is gonna be very brief, but I'll tell you about one of the greatest comic covers that I've ever seen. And it was a comic book cover where you see almost all the X-Men are in a circle and looking down. And in the middle of that circle, you see the Juggernaut laying on his back, wide-eyed, and looking scared, like he just saw 1,000 ghosts. Now, mind you, let me repeat that. The Juggernaut is laying on his back, surrounded by a circle of X-Men who are looking down at him. When he's looking up, wide-eyed, scared to death, looking like he thought it's 1,000 ghosts. And the X-Men are like, what happened? And Juggernaut said one word: onslaught. Do you guys know who Onslaught is? Shh. Why, Sebs? Do you guys know who Onslaught is? I'll give you a couple of guesses before I tell you. Onslaught? You don't know who Onslaught is, huh, Daniel? His name is spelled Onslaught. Dionysus. Okay, you know Billy. Onslaught is the psychic merging of Magneto and Professor X. And what I forgot to tell you is where Juggernaut was laying on his back was near the X-Men mansion in New York. But guess where he got punched from? Canada. So Onslaught hit Juggernaut in Canada, and he landed next to the X-Men mansion in New York. And that's why he was laying on his back, wide-eyed, looking up scared, surrounded by X-Men, because he'd been hit harder than he had ever been hit before by Onslaught. Yes, look him up. That's one of my favorite comic book covers ever, because it's a sight that you don't expect to see. Is the Juggernaut just laid out, surrounded by people that are supposed to be his enemies, the X-Men, But they're surrounding him out of concern. Like, they didn't just beat him up. They're wondering what happened to him. And they're all looking down at him. And they're like, what happened? And he's like, onslaught. Well, it's the Juggernaut. It's the Juggernaut. That's how powerful the Juggernaut is. He can get hit by somebody like Onslaught in Canada and still live. So how did you like that story, Sebs? Did I tell another juicy one? Yeah, you can look that up too, Daniel. You probably can find that cover just by typing in cover where Juggernaut is punched by Onslaught, and you'll see the cover. All right, guys. I think I am going to go and get me some lunch, so I'm going to shut it down for the afternoon. I may and may not be back on this evening. If not, I'll definitely be back on tomorrow. Daniel, your request for a different game has not fallen on deaf ears. I will do my best to find something interesting for us to view on the channel. I'm glad you asked, because I actually have a few games that I purchased and just tucked away, never played. So maybe we can all share a first experience tomorrow with a new game. But we'll see. As you can tell, I'm not the type of person that likes to secure myself to a schedule. I'm very spontaneous, but I think that's the beauty of life, spontaneity. But Daniel, it was a pleasure. Everybody, thanks for stopping through. I appreciate the likes. The support is wonderful. Follow the link pinned to the top of the chat if you haven't already. Lots of marvelous content to browse on the channel. And I will check you all in the next stream, okay? Daniel, Sebs, Billy, Donnell, Nana Bixu, all y'all. I really appreciate the company. And Daniel, great conversation. That was fun. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna exit out to the main menu. Biceps. Yeah, that was a great conversation. I enjoyed it. You coaxed me into sharing one of my favorite comic book stories. Alright, y'all. I'll check you in the next stream. And y'all stay peaceful. Alright? Peace!